Hi everyone! Welcome to another face-up video. This one is going to be a little interesting. I have two heads that I want to make the same person. So on the right, I have an iOS Infernale. iOS stands for Immortality of Soul. They're a doll company that specializes in mostly boy dolls. Actually, I don't think they have any girl dolls, but they have very handsome guys. And on the left here, we have an iOS Lacrimosa. So I got the Infernale back in 2018. I bought him off the secondhand market from Den of Angels. He was actually crafted in 2013, so he's pretty old, but he hasn't yellowed too much. When I have both heads together, I can notice a little bit of yellowing. They're both white resin, but you can see the Infernale is just a slightly off-white color. So my idea was for the Infernale to have another head that I can use for photography to have more expression, so his mouth wasn't open all the time. So I'm going to attempt to paint the Lacrimosa in the same face-up as the Infernale. Now it's been a couple years since I painted this guy, so I'm going to try to remember which colors I used just by looking. So hopefully he'll come out looking good. Alright, so I'm going to keep the Infernale head in the background just so I can have reference all the ways to keep looking at him to make sure I'm doing this right. So the pink pastel that I'm using is actually same pink pastel I usually use for most of my dolls. I think it's a nice light pink color that I don't have to mix, it's just good on its own. Now I'm just adding blue where the skin is a little more thinner, so it just gives his skin a little more translucent look since he is very fair-skinned. And now I'm using a little darker pink in the eyes just because looking at my other head, it looks more darker in the eye corners, and I don't remember exactly which pink I used or what colors that I used to get that, so I'm just kind of guessing here. And I'm using a black color just to darken the inside of his mouth, just so it looks like it's slightly open a little bit. Alright, now I'm using this grayish color for the eyebrows. I remember I used the gray color for the first head because I knew I wanted his hair to be a silvery or ash colored wig. So I didn't want his eyebrows to be too dark. And this part was the part that I was most worried about, is getting those eyebrows to look exact. Now I know I can't get them to look perfectly exact like the first time I did it, but I wanted them to look as close to the original as possible. For the hair details and the eyebrow, I'm actually using my mechanical pencil because at the time when I did the first face up, the brush that I use for lining hairs actually lost all the hairs. I used it so long, it doesn't last forever, unfortunately. So I'm using a combination of the mechanical pencil and some black paint. This because I didn't want to use straight up mechanical pencil this time. The mechanical pencil is safe for resin. I've used it multiple times on my own face-ups, and I haven't noticed any bad things that happen. As long as when you're using it, you're not pressing really hard because it will scratch the resin. I'm gently using it, and it does make nice thin strokes. I was actually very happy that I found this sculpt that looked similar to the Infernale. I think that they both look very similar, and almost to the point where I think that the sculptor must have made them close after each other, or used the same sculpt and just made adjustments for each one or something, because they look pretty darn similar. Alright, so I'm using the mechanical pencil for the lower lashes too, because that's what I did the last time, and I want them to look similar, so I want to make sure I'm using the same materials as I did last time as well as this time. I'm drawing on his beauty mark with a watercolor pencil. And now that I'm looking back at my video, I'm realizing that I forgot to do his other two beauty marks. He actually has two other ones above his right eyebrow, but I completely forgot about it. Whoops. I guess I never really see it because his hair is always covering it. So, oh well, it's okay. It's not necessary because, like I said, his hair is always covering it, and I can always add it in afterwards. I just won't be able to seal it since I've already glossed him and added his eyelashes and stuff, so it's okay. Just have to be careful that it doesn't rub off. It's time for the finishing touches. I think the white hairs and highlights really finish off a face-up. Now I'm adding some shimmer to the inner corners of his eyes. Now, I'm gonna pause here real quick on the shimmer part because it went by a little too fast. So the shimmer goes on and then you spray with the MSC, but it has to be light mists because it will matte the shimmer and it will not be shiny. So then I have to go over it again with more shimmer and just keep building up the shimmer and misting the MSC on top until until I have a nice few layers. Now back to the face up. Now we're applying the gloss, making him look all shiny and lifelike. So the eyes I have for him here are temporary. They are gray, just like the first set, but they did not come out as bright as I had wanted them to be. So I managed to find the original shop where I got the first set of eyes from, so they're on order. They should arrive soon, hopefully. Alright, now let's put them together and see how he looks. And side by side, I think they pretty much look identical. And they could totally pass as the same person. I hope you guys agree. Please let me know what you think in the comments. And thanks for watching. Bye!